Hey everybody, today I want to talk about prompt building in Salesforce. We keep hearing about these new features related to generative AI that Salesforce is releasing, so I thought it would be a good idea to start talking about some of the foundational ones. The one I want to talk about today is prompt engineering. So there's a couple questions that get introduced whenever we start talking about prompt building. Questions like, what is a prompt? What is prompt builder? What are the steps to writing a good prompt? So I want to address each of those today. The first question, of course, is what is a prompt? Basically, a prompt is a set of questions or instructions that you feed into a large language model so they can create relevant content, help speed up processes such as creating emails, creating next steps, building newsletters, summarizing records, and so much more. So what is Prompt Builder? Prompt Builder is actually our low-code tool that is used to build prompts. Put simply, we'll take a look at that together here in a second. And then what are the steps to writing a good prompt? Not all prompts are created equal, so we want to always be intentional, be thoughtful when we build these out. So one of the questions you want to ask is, who is the voice? Who's the one actually speaking? AKA, who is the one that will be using this prompt? Another one, what is the purpose of this prompt? What is your goal? Where is my data coming from? Where is my data grounded in? Ideally, Salesforce CRM or third-party systems are all being pulled into the same resource, such as Data Cloud. Now you can start to use the data in your own way. You want to be sure that you give it clear instructions, clean instructions. Tell it what to include, what not to include, what kind of language to include, what kind of language not to include. You can even feed it some examples of what it can do. And then also model selection matters. So as you go in, and we'll look at this here in a second, and choose what model you want to use, whether you bring your own model or you use an out-of-the-box model from Salesforce Generative AI, the type of model that you use is going to determine what kind of response that you get back. So let's take a look at this together. So here we are, we're looking at a contact record for Howie White. Howie White is the Chief Executive Officer at the Emily White design firm. Chief Executive Officer because he is my actual dog. This is my dog, Howie. But looking at Howie's contact record, I can see we have an email address, we have an account name, we have a contact owner, just a little bit of information. But one really great thing is that I can actually see that Howie has an opportunity. So something has indicated that Howie has some kind of job that's coming up. And in this fictitious company, what we're working with is a drone company. I've got a couple drones that I love to fly around, so I like to use that as my use case. So in this example, there is a opportunity out there for a 4-hour drone shot to make about $1,000. We've got the address, we've got the close date, we've got some good information. Now, how great would it be if I could go in and send Howie an email message that just laid out, hey, Howie, we're really trying to get your business. So let's take a look at how we can do that. So of course, whenever I come look at the contact record, just as always, I can come over and I can click the little email button. And down here, what you'll see is an option for draft with Einstein. Now you can go in and you can type in this message, and this is the prompt that you're building out. So again, you can come in, type a message and say, I want to email Howie and get his business. Make it personal and include the date of his opportunity. So I probably didn't spell that right, that's okay. But basically what we're saying is, hey, this is the kind of instructions that I want to feed in so that I can get an answer back. Well, I can click this and click draft email. Einstein's gonna go through its thing and make a decision. And it's great. I can see all of this information that I have, very good, but I already see some things that are wrong. So first of all, this is using some language that doesn't really sound like me. This isn't actually the name of the company that I want to be promoting. There's not a whole lot of personalization, so it's pretty good, but it's not ideal. So I can actually come through, revise, change my prompt, all these different things. That can get tedious, especially if you have 1, 2, 20, 50, even 200 customers to go through and do this time and time again. So using prompts, you can actually build essentially a skeleton for your sales team to use to go out and just simply click a button to generate an email. So down here, what you'll see is an option that says pre-made instructions, and these are the different prompts that you have to work with. Now let's go in and build a prompt out ourselves. So the first thing that I actually want to do is I want to come over here to the top right corner and click setup. I want to click into setup. Over in the quick find, I'll just type in prompt. I'll click in a prompt builder. And I've already got a prompt that I've started to build out, so we'll just work with that one. I named it Drum Up Drone Business, and it's going to be a sales email. But as you come through, there are a bunch of different types of prompts that you can build. So if I can get my little picture to go away there we go. I can click create new new prompt template. There's a couple different types of prompt templates that you can work with. Today we'll be working with sales email, but I'll give you a high level understanding of each of these. Field generation is pretty cool. This is the one where you can actually build a prompt that will populate a field on a record. So maybe you want to have something that translates your a message that came from a customer. That's what you could use this for. But again, like I said, we'll be working with sales email. So we'll just click into sales email. I'll name this accordingly. So I'll just name this the same as I did, drum up drone business. And then template description. It's always a really good idea to add in a description so the team can know what this is for. So I'll just say this email template is used to look at opportunities related to contacts and encourage the sale. So my recipient is going to be the contact, and then a related object that I'm going to be working with in this situation is the opportunity object. Go ahead and click next here, and now here we are. We've got our blank prompt template. So a couple of things that I want to do, kind of like I said earlier, the really important things that you want to bring to life whenever you're building out a prompt are the voice. So who is the person that's going to be sending this email message? What is the purpose? Where is my data coming from? And I want to make sure I give it really clear and clean instructions. So let's walk through this together. I've got my second screen over here where I've got my other prompt. So what I want to do first off is say, I want to tell the bot who they are, essentially. So I'm going to say you're A, and then whenever I type in you're A, I can come over here to my resources, and basically what I can do is find the sender, so the person who will be sending that message. I can go down to their title, because I want to be working with their title. So I'll say you're A, sender title, and your name is, and I'll say Zach White. So far so good. This is looking pretty great, except I noticed over here on my first option I chose some dynamic inputs, and over here this looks like it's pretty hard coded. I don't think that this is going to work for me. So the reason why I went with a dynamic option earlier is so that every time a different user uses this template, it will change and form and morph to their specifications. So whenever I come over here to my resources panel, you can see the different objects and the different tools that I have to work with. You can invoke flows, Apex. You can look at information on your current organization. Again, the sender, you can look at information from the sender. So this will be dynamically populated. So if I send it, Howie sends it, Emily sends it, whoever sends it, it will look different for each recipient or for each sender. The recipient, same thing. This makes it dynamic so that depending on who I'm sending to, maybe they look at different products, they have different opportunity information, whatever that looks like, it can change and morph. And same thing for the opportunity. As things change, the prompt changes, the response changes, and it's just going to be really dynamically populated, and it's going to look personalized for each and every one of your customers. So anyway, what I'm going to do now is just come over here and delete this, and I'm going to just go ahead and copy the prompt that I have over on my other screen in, and we'll walk through kind of how I work through this whole thing. So again, what I did was I said, I want to be sure to give it a voice. So I said, you are a sender title. So my title is going to be Chief Executive Officer, and your name is Zach White. Now, as the people change, this information will change as well. I did actually hard code in the Seattle Drone Company because I want to make sure that everyone that receives this email is receiving this from the Seattle Drone Company and not the name of my Salesforce org. For my prospect, I said my prospect is the recipient name. So I just came over here, went to recipient, typed in name, and as you insert these pieces of content, they will populate here in the blue lines, and again, they will continue to change. Input recipient account. I also want to include the account so that as I write out these emails, they'll come across more personalized. Now, what is my goal? My goal is to encourage the contact to book the current opportunity name with the address listed as well. So for each of my opportunities, I have a name for it. So for example, when we were looking at this opportunity, we noticed that this one is called 4-Hour Drone Shot, and it's going to be here in Fremont in Seattle, Washington. So for this example, what I would be pulling in is the opportunity name is going to be 4-Hour Drone Shot, and then the event is going to be, of course, or the address event is actually, of course, going to be the address that is listed on the opportunity. And again, if you ever wanted to pull in more information, then you could do so. So maybe if I take a look at this opportunity, I want to bring in the account or the amount, I would say amount of the opportunity is, and I can come over here to my resource, go to my opportunity, and say amount and drop that in there. So now I can even see how much, I can even take into account when the prompt is building out how much the opportunity is worth. And I also really want to include in one of my goals to indirectly encourage the prospect to respond to the email by showing that they're willing to answer any questions that you may have. So again, I just want to show and express my willingness to help out the customer and be there for them as needed. And as you go through and you start to build out prompts, you notice it. You start to feed it the information that you want to. You'll do some testing. You'll do some previewing, which we'll look at here in a second. And you'll notice that it's missing a few things. So as you go through, you continue to just add different pieces of information, different tweaks. You continue to, like, what I like to say is turn the knobs on the prompts. And as you turn the knobs, you start to get responses back that are just perfect. So I always suggest continue to preview, continue to test, continue to iterate, and your prompts are just going to continue to grow and grow. Your sales people are going to be incredibly grateful for these beautiful emails that are created as a result of the prompts that you built out. So again, I came in and I established a voice. I went through my testing and I found that when I would make this, when I would test out my in preview mode, it kept making it sound like the customer was brand new, and there was no information that we had about them. So I just said, hey, they've already expressed interest. We've got the opportunity. So no need to walk through the intro steps, because it kept trying to give intro steps. And then at the end of the email, it kept on saying, hey, warm regards or something along those lines. That's not really the language that we use at Zach White Drone or at Seattle Drone Company. So I want the end of the email to actually just say all the best, because that's what I like to see, what I like to use. And then as I went through, I noticed the subject line also came across kind of funny, so I started giving it different subject line instructions. I wanted to include some emojis in the body and in the subject line, but I want my subject line to be 7 words or less. I wanted to use emojis. I wanted to say something along the lines of paging, co-pilot, and then a first name. Because at a drone company, I would think it would always be really, I think it would be really fun if the voice of my company is like a retired pilot who has gone around the world, traveled, and now he owns a drone company and he's inviting you to basically hop in the co-pilot seat alongside him. So let's test this out. So I went through and put all the information, gave it all the instructions that I want it to have, and now in preview mode, I can come over here and choose my recipient. It's going to be Howie. The related record, I can actually look at the 4-hour drone shot. And then a preview language, of course, I'm going to want to work with English. So I'll just come over here and I'll click Save and Preview. Just add an S there. Click Save and Preview. And my template was saved successfully. That's really great news. You can also see how fast this is happening. But yeah, so now you can come over here and see the response. Paging co-pilot Howie. Body says, hello Howie, this is your captain speaking. Awesome, I really love this voice. Are you ready to fasten your seatbelts for a memorable day from the skies? Let's soar above and capture unforgettable moments with our 4-hour drone shot event in Seattle. Drone photography and video brings a unique perspective, cinematic quality, and enhanced creativity to your special day. Imagine looking back on your wedding. Oh, how did it know that it was a wedding? Because I told it over my opportunity instructions. So maybe this is a wedding, maybe this is a corporate event, maybe this is a sporting event, whatever it looks like. All of this information that we get will change and be updated per the user's requirements. But anyway, looking back on your wedding day from a bird's eye view, reliving those magical highlights. I'm here to answer any questions you may have and ensure a smooth journey towards capturing your cherished memories. Let's make your day extraordinary. And again, all the best, Zach White, Seattle Drone Company. I absolutely love that. So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually going to come over here and look at my models, and one thing that you'll see is under my models pane, there's a lot of different options. We'll talk about this in a future video a little bit more, but basically I really like to use the AI GPT-4 as my model. So I'll go over here and click Save and Preview. We'll look at this one now. So it's going to change. This GPT-4 is a little bit more robust, a little bit more built out model. So let's see what the response says. We won't read through it this whole time again. But again, got a little satellite dish, paging co-pilot Howie for sky-high adventures, and then we'll just keep reading through. As a retired pilot, I've seen many beautiful sights from the sky, and I can assure you that your event will be no different. I'm here to ensure that we capture your day in the most spectacular way possible with no turbulence. Awesome. Now I'm giving ease of mind to my customer. Things are looking really great. Perfect. I really like this, so I'm going to go ahead and click Activate. And now my Drum Up Business Drone prompt is activated. That's awesome. So now what I want to do is actually come over here and just hit refresh on my screen. So now if I come in, I can click the email option, and hopefully it's already up. Sometimes it takes a little bit of time. But I can come over here to click Draft with Einstein. Oh, maybe I should add in a person. Howie. There we go. Click Draft with Einstein. Use pre-made instructions. And what I'm gonna do is, oh, it's not up there quite yet, so we'll wait until it goes. Sorry about that. Had to wait a little bit to make sure that the prompt came through. But now I'm looking at the contact record for Howie White. I clicked on email to email him. Now I can come down here to my pre-made instructions. And this is exactly what it will look like for your sales team. They'll come over here, click on pre-made instructions. All of the prompts that you build out will be listed down here. So I'm just gonna click on the drum up drone business. And I'm gonna relate it to this 4-hour drone shot. I'll click continue. And now Einstein will analyze my request and give me back a really awesome email message to send to my customer. Awesome. So I'm going to go ahead and expand this so we can see a little bit better. But using the prompt template that I just built out, this is the email message that will go out to Howie. Again, paging co-pilot Howie, your sky high adventure awaits. And then all of this information. I'm going to act like I read through it. You can read through it yourself, but I can tell you it's a really great response that has come back. And again, my team, if they don't like a certain part of this, they can always come in and edit it, remove things as needed, make changes, move things around, make sure spelling and grammar is all up to par and everything like that. But I really like this draft. I'm going to go ahead and like it, and I'll click done, and then I'll click send. And so now Howie White will receive this email message. This is all possible, done through Prompt Builder and Salesforce Generative AI features. It's a really great opportunity for you to speed up the processes that you currently do. You can use this for drumming up sales emails, crafting emails, building out next steps, writing out newsletters, summarizing records, and so much more. But today we talked about how to build a sales email. Next time we'll talk about something different. Again, thank you so much for your time, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.